Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to the first lesson on evolution. Today, we will begin by defining what evolution is, and then learn about a few of the theories on the origin of life. Let us get started. It is impossible to explain what evolution is without talking about change. Organisms, including humans, have changed over time to become advanced and more complex. All animals change over time as a result of their ability to adapt to their environment. We usually think of the whole process of evolution starting with the origin of life and ending with the current state of our world. We understand that during the process of evolution, species of plants and animals have adapted to the world and have survived the changes. We also understand that other species have not been able to adapt, so they have become extinct. To define evolution, we must explain the changing species or organisms in a way that also explains the change that is happening in the world the organism lives in. We could say that evolution is the change in species traits over a period of time. The changes that occur are caused by different factors, such as the species' ability to adjust to their surroundings or changes in their genetic makeup. As a result, the species are slightly altered from their original form and may lead to the beginning of an entirely new species. Students, for our first activity, let us talk about an example of how the traits in different species affect its ability to survive. Imagine a forest. Within this forest, there is a species of green bugs that live on green leaves, and a species of white bugs that also live on green leaves. If the green bug can blend in with its surroundings, do you think it will survive longer than the white bug. Which bug do you think has a better chance of survival against predators?
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. If you answered the green bug, then you answered right. The green bug can camouflage itself on a leaf, so predators will not see it as easily. The longer the bug lives, the more chance it has to produce offspring with traits that give it a survival advantage, such as being green. This is called an evolutionary adaptation. But what about the beginnings of life on Earth? People have developed many theories over time explaining how the world and living organisms were formed. Let us begin by talking about one of those theories, special creationism. Special creationism is the belief that different forms of life on Earth were created by a supreme being. There are many different versions of special creationism linked with different types of religious beliefs. As you can see depicted in the image of the famous painting by Michelangelo, Many people throughout history thought that the beginning of life was due to the work of God. Science tries to explain the world around us through observation and evidence. Religion focuses on spiritual and philosophical matters. Religion is less concerned with evidence and facts and more concerned with faith and the belief in things that cannot be proven. Evolution is a scientific theory, and special creationism is a religious theory. So the two theories are often in opposition. They are very different from one another, though each is a valid theory in its own context. In the theory of special creationism, there are a few different ideas about how old the earth is and how it was formed. Young Earth creationism suggests that the earth is only a few thousand years old. In this theory, it is believed that the earth was created in 6 days. In old Earth creationism, it is believed that the earth is very old, but God created all life. Day-age and gap creationism is the belief that the beginnings of Earth took much longer than 6 Earth days. In gap creationism, it is believed that there was a gap of millions or billions of years between the formation of the Earth and the creation of all species. Day-age creationism is similar to gap creationism in the length of time it took to form the earth, but talks about the 6 days as a symbol for the period of time. The theory of progressive creationism accepts the Big Bang theory as how the world was created. It also accepts the idea of fossils of species found over time. However, it states that these fossils are unique and were not part of evolution. Progressive creationism believes that modern species are not linked to ancient species. Evolutionary creationism is the belief that God invented evolution. This theory states that He is responsible for the ongoing changes in the evolution process and is also responsible for the creation of the human soul. Intelligent design is the last theory we will be learning about. This is the newest theory in special creationism and says God's work can be seen in all things. Believers of intelligent design defend the theory using scientific statements about cell biology to give the appearance that they are forming their arguments based on facts instead of belief. Believers of intelligent design look for faults in evolutionary theory and argue that if there is one faulty fact, the entire theory must be incorrect. As we have learned, students, there are many different ways to think about the creation of the earth. For our next activity, can you name the 7 different theories of special creationism? Write your answers on a piece of notebook paper.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. If you wrote down young Earth, old Earth, day-age, gap, evolutionary, progressive, and intelligent design, then you were able to remember all of them. Great job. Remember that you can refer to your textbook if you missed one. Let us move on to the last theory for today: spontaneous generation. Spontaneous generation states that life evolved spontaneously from non-living matter. It was only a few hundred years ago that people still believed in this. 2 scientists, Francisco Redi and Louis Pasteur, each disproved the theory of spontaneous generation by using simple experiments to conclude that cells could only be produced from other living organisms. This is the end of our lesson for the day. In this lesson, we learned about evolution. We also started to learn about 2 of the theories on the origins of life: special creationism and spontaneous generation. Until next time, thank you, students. Thank you, teacher.